How many people have heard the scream of a fire engine overnight while they're sleeping or when they're out in their yard? Likely everybody has heard this, which is why it's important to know where the sound comes from. Fire engines and ladder trucks are used virtually by every single fire department around the world. Fire engines have been around for centuries in various forms. I've been a fireman for 3 years, and today I'm here to tell you about them. I'm going to introduce various aspects of the fire engine that's pertinent to fire engines in America. I'm going to explain the history of the fire engine, all the equipment that's on board them, and how it's used. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the history about the fire engines. The first fire engines were powered by horses and only carried some personnel, a fire pump, and fire hose. This pump drew water from underground cisterns, which was used to put the fire out. It wasn't until the introduction of the steam engine in 1841 when fire trucks first became powered. Following that, further advances were made to the fire engine in 1868 when Daniel Hayes figured out how to put an aerial ladder on a fire engine. This allowed firemen to make rescues from upper levels of the buildings and to make rescues and to be able to open up roofs. In 1910, the first modern fire apparatus became powered by the gas engine. That's when the modernization of the fire engine first went into effect. As MidwestFire.com stated, in 1960, the truly modern fire engine was put into service. This included closed cabs, pumps that were powered by the diesel engine, and they were able to carry a lot more equipment. Now that you know a brief history of the fire engine, I'm going to tell you what's found on them. There are various components that make up the fire engine that you may not know of. A couple that everybody probably knows is that fire engines carry water and they also carry hose. The tank on the fire engine is called the booster tank. The amount of water that these tanks hold is anywhere from 500 to 1,000 gallons. The pump is powered by the drivetrain and is capable of pumping up to 3,000 gallons a minute. Fire engines also carry fire hose, as you would know. There are a couple different kinds of hoses that they carry. The first is hand lines that are used for putting the fire out, and the second is supply line for getting water from the hydrant to the engine. Fire engines also have a series of lights on them, anywhere from lights that are mounted to the outside of the body to lights that are on the inside of the engine that we carry inside with us, and portable lights that are powered by batteries as well. Fire engines also carry various power tools and hand tools that help us gain entry into places and make rescues. Fire engines also carry ladders that allow us to access upper floors of buildings and areas inside of buildings. Fire engines also carry air packs that allow us to breathe when we're inside of the fire. Now that you know some of the equipment that's on the fire engine, we're going to go over what it's used for. The water is probably the most crucial element of any fire engine. Without it, we wouldn't be able to put fires out. But some people may not know that water is not only used for putting the fire out, but it's also used for getting smoke out of the building. We also carry foam that is able to blanket liquids that are on fire to put the fire out. As we mentioned before, hand lines come in various sizes on the fire engine. We carry 1 3/4 and 2.5 inch hand lines that we can go inside the fire and put the fire out from the inside. We also carry 2.5 and larger lines that we can put the fire out from the outside. 4 and 5 inch line is used for supplying the engine from the hydrant and connecting one engine to the next engine to carry water to further places. There are a series of different lights that are on the fire engine. As you can see, there's lights that are mounted up there that you can shine to the outside. We also carry portable hand lights that go into the fire with us, and we also have battery powered lights that we can place around the scene to make sure everything's lit. We also have several different kinds of hand tools and rescue tools that are mounted all over the fire engine. The Halligan is a versatile tool that can be used for anything from opening doors to walls to being an anchor for bailing out of a fire situation. The fire axe is synonymous with the American Fire Service, and there are at least 2 on every fire engine. We use those for opening up roofs, opening up doors, and various other operations. We also have powered rescue tools such as the Jaws of Life, shears, and the ram to open up cars that would allow us to get people out of them. As Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment magazine also tells us, every fire engine has at least a series of several ladders that range in height from 20 to 35 feet. And another common ladder found on the fire engine is the attic ladder to allow us to get inside and in narrower places that we wouldn't otherwise be able to get to. Today I've explained the history of the fire engine, what its components are, and what they're used for. I hope the next time you see a fire engine, you will think of the various components that are included in them and how much more really comes out of them than you might think.